What's going on, guys? This is Chandler Smith, and today I'm gonna give you a tour of my 4-acre property that we just spent $700,000 to landscape. So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Oh, crap. I gotta work on that. All right, guys, I am so excited for today's video because the backyard to me is one of the most important parts of your house. The other reason I'm really excited is I'm planning on doing a ton of events with sales reps and a bunch of real estate investors in the backyard. And that is the main reason we did what we did with the landscape on this property. So I'm gonna walk you through everything, explain kind of the breakdown on prices. But before we jump into that, I've gotta give a shout out to the sponsor of this video, ADT Security Systems. Now, ADT reached out to me and hooked me up with an incredible security system and cameras throughout the entire house. Not only can I see almost every room of the interior of my house, but I've also had cameras on all of the exterior, which has been so cool because they've been recording everything that's been going on the landscape. So throughout the video, we're gonna use some of our footage. We're also gonna use some of the security footage so you can see how much has changed on the landscape of the property. If you are interested in getting the best cameras and the best security system in the world, click the link below and you're gonna get hooked up with a fat discount by using my link. All right, guys, so we are gonna be cheating and using some of the before and after footage from my security system, which I think is so cool. I just pop over, click on the app, and one thing that's so neat about this is it gives me a breakdown of every one of the different camera locations. So I can pan through all of my front cameras. I can also check inside. We've actually got family in town, so you can see they're hanging out, eating. And then I can check out everything else, whether it's the pool room, the basketball court, any part of the exterior. And we're also gonna pull some old footage that got saved into my system that we can pull up from forever ago so you can see some of the before pictures of the backyard. The last thing that's awesome is that I'm put on a big camera on the back because I wanted to make sure I could monitor my back property line. It picks up motion and can zoom in all the way to the back, which has gotta be, I don't know, pushing 100 yards, and it's super clear and super crisp. So we'll mess around with that as well. Now it's time to jump into the tour. After one more pitch, you need to know that all of the landscaping, the property, everything is paid for with passive income through investing in real estate. And if you want to jump into that, we've got a link below to my real estate investing course so you can join our community, and I hope to see you there. Now, one of the biggest frustrations about dropping a lot of money on landscape is right when they finish, everything you just paid for dies. And so that's been really discouraging. However, the good news is everything that's been planted this year is all going to come back in the spring. And this is one of the last warm days. We've already lost a ton of the leaves on the landscape they planted, but I wanted to wait until we were as close as possible to them finishing, and they're just about done. Nate over at B&K Landscaping here in Idaho is absolutely incredible. He was perfect on his budget, perfect on his time frame, and it looks incredible. And so I'll probably do another video when everything blooms in the spring, but you can get a pretty good idea today as we walk you through things. When I was talking to Nate, we have no idea how many bushes, plants, shrubs have been planted. All of these are new in the last couple months, and you can see they're all over the front. We estimated that there's a little over 400 trees that have been planted on the landscape, and so we're gonna be busy raking leaves next fall. Up here in the front, we're planning on putting a little hangout, some chairs in the front of the house. All of these trees are gonna get very tall in the front, so you've kind of got the row in here and another row into this other entrance. The other thing that's really neat is their paver guy is incredible. All of this turned out so nice. We need to get it power washed because we have so many people that have come through where it's gotten a little dirty, but I'm really happy with how it turned out. And I know a lot of these entrances, they make a little more narrow. I wanted it so that we could have one car parked and you can still comfortably drive through all of it, hoping that people would park on one side, but they always don't. But that's okay. Now, one thing we planned for with the landscape is we left this open, so if I ever do want to add a shop or garage, it can go right here, and we can add just a little more road and a little more parking for that. That might be something we do in the next 3 to 5 years. It just wasn't something I wanted to take on right now. But I do want to show you one of my favorite parts of the landscape. First of all of this was here. There's a little ditch that goes here. And a lot of these trees were here already because this was a tree farm. A lot of them have been added, but we wanted to leave kind of the natural fill. And so all of this we're going to spray with wildflowers that'll pop up in the spring. So it's gonna be super colorful, but also we're leaving all of the natural stuff that's already there. So we've got a lot of trees, bushes, shrubs that weren't planted, and you'll see they go down the whole side of my property line. We're also gonna add on all of the exterior lines that spray and stuff, so you get a bunch of wildflowers on top of all the bushes and shrubs, where the rock is on the interior portion of the landscape. Now, this is made so that if we ever do have events or like receptions or stuff like that, it leads back in, and then you get into all of this heavy landscape that they added in. So this is gonna feel super, super full, and back in here, you'll see that it kind of opens up into a cool little reception area. We also had them add this little fountain over here with a little stream. And my kids' favorite place to hang out is back in this corner. It goes back a ways, and it's just all kinds of wild native stuff that was already here. We're gonna spray those wildflowers all throughout all of this, so it's really gonna be colorful and pop, and those are supposed to come back every year. So it's just this native grass feel, and then a very clean cutoff into the yard. Now, I want to show you all the plants and the trees and the layout and the orchard, but my favorite part is the pavers, so you have to stay till the end so that we can show you the back patio. Now, if you look along here, we've got our fence that's going in along the back, and it's gonna be beautiful. Just give us a little more coverage, and then we're gonna have trees fill that in. We're gonna put a couple gates back here so that we can come through. And growing up, I would actually come and hang out in this canal. It fills up in the summers, and it's a great place to swim and hang out. And it's just right here on the back of the property line. And so we're really excited about the location of everything. We left a road between our fence and where the landscape started so that we could get access to all of the yard through here, but also so that we could get access to the orchard. Now, the orchard is gonna have a gate in the back, on the side, and in the front. But then if we have friends or family or neighbors that want to come over and pick some apples, they've got easy access from the road to pull in here, and they can come and pick some of the trees. This is something that my parents had in the last couple years in their property that I just loved, having apples to share with people and apples to dry and use for our own family. So we'll take you into the orchard really quick. Now in the front, we have a little wood structure that we're going to put, and it's gonna be kind of centered on the orchard, so it looks really cool. We'll have some vines and stuff growing on that. I do need to work on my game though. So let's show you the budding green. All right, I took 3 shots. First 2 weren't playable, but we're gonna see if we can get a true par 3 on this. Let's go. That's a birdie. All right, guys, you can see they still have a lot to do, but man, it looks incredible having all the trees on this tree line. Someone once told me you can buy a lot of things, but you can't buy experienced landscape. And to some extent, that's very true. A lot of this stuff has to grow. But one thing that's really cool, and something that for years to come, I'll be able to remember my parents by, is they had a tree line in the back of their property, which is way more experienced than this property. And they actually gifted me these 6 trees. They're probably 35, 40 feet tall. And we have them on here just to give us a little more coverage from the road. And it really turned out just awesome. So Mom and Dad, thank you. they were a perfect finishing touch for this side of the property. I think the sunken trampoline turned out perfect, but it is not my favorite part of this whole thing. It's probably my kids, but the back patio is all right here. First of all, we've got enough room for a football field this direction or this direction, and not like a full football field, but a fun area for the kids to run, to play catch. But one of the other things we really wanted was a sunken down fire pit. I'm sure we're gonna do tons of fun events here, but also it's a great place in the summer to hang out with my family. And this comes down from the main patio. And excuse the mess, we're still in the middle of finishing it up before the winter gets here. But at the top of each of these, you see these sticking out. These are actually for flower plants. And so this will provide water to the plants that'll be up here. And then these are the pavers, and they turned out absolutely extraordinary. Our paver guy did such a great job. This right here is another one of those special parts of the home because my dad actually builds pizza ovens. So me and him have been taking this on, putting together a pizza oven. It is ready for the next phase, but my dad also has a full-time job. And so in between his full-time job, he's been coming and helping me build a pizza oven. And so again, something for years to come, I'll be able to remember that my dad was willing to come over and help put together for me. And when I say we are building it, he's the big W, I'm the little E. This is also going to be where our grill is gonna be and the outdoor kitchen. And then this is a back door into the main part of our house. Now, some of the landscaping that I think turned out so cool is this area right here. We've got the little fountain kind of to set the mood, and the rocks. These trees are gonna get super tall and fill in. And then we've got this cool little, I think it's an apple tree, but from a young age, they kind of grow it in a way so that it looks super cool when it gets older, and it really is looking cool. So all of these are gonna be roses. As you can see, everything is dying, but it's all gonna come back in the spring. Now, this is probably a great time to announce that this upcoming summer, I'm going to be doing some events with my YouTube community. And this is one of the main reasons that I built this landscape, is I wanted to be able to have people over and have a great place to hang out and talk real estate and hopefully help lots of other people get into a place where they can start investing. And so if that is something that interests you, we're not even selling anything right now. I'm just kind of putting feelers out there, and I think I'm gonna keep them extremely small at first because I wanna dial it in. I've done a ton of events that I've gone to and spoken at. I've also done a bunch of events for my sales force, but I wanna make sure these that I do for the YouTube community are next level. And so we're gonna start very small and scale up. And so if you wanna be one of the test dummies that gets to be part of a much smaller group, make sure that you hit me up and we can have some fun this upcoming summer. So just send me a message on Instagram at Chandler David Smith. I'll add you to a list, and hopefully I'll look forward to meeting you in person. Now, if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to remember to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell. I'm gonna look forward to seeing you in future videos. Thanks, guys.